You worked for it your entire life. 40 years of paychecks. 40 years of that Social Security line being quietly pulled from every single one. And now, at 62, there's a door in front of you. A door most people walk right past because someone told them waiting is always smarter. But here's what they don't tell you. About 2/3 of Americans file for Social Security before their full retirement age. Not because they're desperate, not because they made a mistake, but because for their specific situation, filing early was the single smartest financial move they could make. Today, I'm going to show you 7 of those situations. 7 really solid, math-backed reasons why filing at 62 might not just be okay. It might actually be the right call for you. And stay through to reason number 5, because it involves a tax strategy that most people never see coming. One that quietly saves some retirees tens of thousands of dollars. You're not going to want to miss that one. But before we get into the reasons, we need to talk about the math, because most people get this part completely wrong. Let me introduce you to someone we'll call David. Retired engineer. 35 years in the field. Good career, solid savings, and now at 62, he has 3 choices. He can file for Social Security right now and receive about $1,800 a month. He can wait until his full retirement age of 67 and receive about $2,570 a month. Or he can delay all the way to 70 and receive roughly $3,185 a month. On the surface, waiting looks obvious. More money. Simple math. Except it isn't. If David files at 62 and lives to age 78, he collects roughly $302,000 in total lifetime benefits. If he waited until 67, he'd collect about $277,000 by that same age. Filing early actually puts more money in his pocket if he doesn't make it much past his late 70s. The break-even point between filing at 62 versus waiting until 70 sits somewhere around age 80 to 81. Live past that, and waiting wins. Don't make it there, and filing early wins. But here's where most people make the critical mistake. They treat that break-even calculation as the whole answer. It's not even close. It ignores your taxes. It ignores your investment portfolio. It ignores your spouse. It ignores your health. Social Security doesn't exist in a vacuum. And when you factor in how it connects to the rest of your retirement picture, the answer for some people flips entirely. That's exactly what I want to show you today. Not the generic math, the real math. The math that includes your whole life. Reason number 1. Your health or family history suggests a shorter timeline. I'll be direct about this one, because most advisors aren't. If you have a chronic health condition, or longevity simply doesn't run in your family, the break-even math changes dramatically. And ignoring that isn't being optimistic. It's leaving money on the table. Here's the number to hold on to. The break-even between filing at 62 and waiting until 70 is around age 80 to 81. That's a long time to wait. If your father passed at 72, if your grandfather didn't make it past 70, the math isn't ambiguous. Michael Kitces, one of the most respected financial planners in the country, made a point I think every retiree needs to hear. Treating $1 at age 95 the same as $1 at age 62 pushes people toward underspending during the years they're healthiest and most active. There is a real cost to delaying, not just in dollars, but in what you can actually do with those dollars. A check at 63 buys a flight to Portugal. The same check at 83 might buy a better wheelchair. That's not pessimism. That's realism. And realism is empowering because it lets you make a decision based on your actual life, not someone else's averages. Reason number 2. You can unlock your spouse's benefits right now. Here's something most couples don't fully understand, and it quietly costs them tens of thousands of dollars. Your spouse cannot collect spousal benefits until you file first. It doesn't matter how long they've been waiting. It doesn't matter how many years they paid into the system. They are locked out until you flip the switch. Let's say your Social Security benefit at 62 is $1,200 a month, and your spouse's own benefit would only be around $400. The moment you file, your spouse becomes eligible for up to 50% of your full retirement age benefit. That's $800 a month, double what they'd get on their own. Your household goes from collecting $1,200 a month to $2,000 a month. Just like that. Now think about what happens if you wait 5 years to file. You don't just delay your money. You delay theirs too. 5 years of spousal benefits gone. Roughly $48,000 that can never be recovered. Waiting doesn't just cost you. It costs the person sitting right next to you. Reason number 3. Your portfolio needs breathing room. This one has nothing to do with Social Security itself. It has everything to do with what happens to your investments in the first years of retirement. It's called sequence of returns risk, and it's one of the most dangerous threats to a retirement portfolio that most people never see coming. Here's how it works. If you retire at 62 and the market drops 25 or 30% in your first year, every dollar you pull from your portfolio during that decline locks in losses. Losses that can take years, sometimes a decade, to recover from. The 2025 Social Security Trustees Report confirms that a maximum earning retiree filing at 62 in 2026 can bring in up to $2,969 a month. Every dollar of that benefit is a dollar you don't have to pull from a portfolio that's already bleeding. You're not reacting to the market anymore. You're giving your investments time to breathe, time to recover, time to come back. For someone watching their accounts drop while pulling $8,000 or $10,000 a month from their IRA just to cover basic expenses, Social Security at 62 isn't a retreat. It's a pressure release valve that could save the rest of their retirement. Quick question before we keep going. Where are you in this decision right now? Are you already leaning towards 62? Or are you still planning to wait? Drop your age and your current thinking in the comments below. I read every single one, and your question might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Reason number 4. The trust fund reality. I want to be careful here, because I've seen too many videos weaponize this to scare people into bad decisions. But the numbers are the numbers, and you deserve to know them. The 2025 Social Security Trustees Report projects that the Old Age Trust Fund will be depleted by 2033. Not eliminated, depleted. After that point, Social Security can still pay approximately 77% of scheduled benefits from ongoing payroll taxes. Now think about what that means if you're 62 today. If you delay all the way to 70, you reach age 69 before the trust fund is projected to run out. You collect one single year of your maximum benefit, and then potentially face a 23% reduction. Filing at 62 means you collect 100% of your benefit, starting now. Congress has never once allowed benefits to actually be cut. The odds are in your favor that they act before 2033. But if you are someone who plans around certainty rather than probability, there is a very clear logic to collecting sooner rather than hoping for a legislative fix. Especially for higher earners, where means-tested reductions have appeared in multiple reform proposals over the years. Reason number 5. The hidden tax strategy most retirees never see. This is the one I promised you at the beginning, and it is genuinely one of the most overlooked strategies in all of retirement planning. Here's the reality. If you retire at 62 and fund your entire lifestyle from IRA withdrawals, every single dollar you pull out is taxed as ordinary income. For a married couple withdrawing $130,000 a year, you're sitting in the 22% federal bracket or higher. But Social Security is taxed differently. Social Security uses something called provisional income, which is your regular income plus half of your Social Security benefits. If that total stays under $32,000 for a married couple, your Social Security is completely tax-free. Even above that threshold, at most 85% of your benefit is taxable, never 100%. So when you file at 62, you are replacing fully taxable IRA dollars with partially taxable Social Security dollars. Your effective tax rate drops. Your take-home goes up. And here is the part most people completely miss. The years between age 62 and 73, before required minimum distributions force money out of your IRA. That is your golden window. Your income is often at its lowest point in all of retirement. Filing for Social Security during that window means your benefits may be taxed lightly or not at all. And that lower income window creates room for Roth conversions. You can move money from your traditional IRA into a Roth, pay taxes now at a lower rate, and protect those funds from taxes for the rest of your life, potentially saving tens of thousands of dollars over a 20 or 30-year retirement. In some cases, filing early for Social Security isn't just a retirement income decision. It's the move that makes the entire tax strategy work. Reason number 6. The spousal coordination strategy. For married couples, this might be the most powerful strategy on this entire list, and most couples never even hear about it. Here's how it works. If one spouse earns significantly more than the other, the lower-earning spouse files at 62, while the higher-earning spouse delays all the way to 70. Let me show you exactly why with Carol and James. Carol is 62, recently retired after 30 years in healthcare administration. James is 60 and still working part-time as a consultant. Together, they have about $2 million sitting in traditional IRAs. Without any Social Security income coming in, they're pulling $140,000 a year from their portfolio. Fully taxable ordinary income. Every dollar. Carol's benefit at 62 is roughly $1,100 a month. That's $13,200 a year coming into the household. Their IRA withdrawals drop. Their tax bracket eases. And James, the higher earner, gets 8 more years for his benefit to grow at a rate of 8% per year from age 67 to 70. Let that sink in. 8% per year. Guaranteed. Government-backed. Zero market risk. And here's the part that most people completely miss. James's larger delayed benefit also becomes Carol's survivor benefit if he passes first. The spouse who delays isn't just growing their own check. They are building a financial safety net for the person they love most in the world. For a couple like Carol and James, this coordinated approach brings income in the door, protects the portfolio, and still maximizes the larger benefit. It's not a compromise. It's the best of everything. Reason number 7. Fund your go-go years. Retirement doesn't happen in a straight line. It happens in 3 phases. The go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. The go-go years, your early to mid-60s, are when you have your health, your energy, and the ability to travel, explore, say yes to things you've been putting off your entire working life. The slow-go years bring more limits, more considerations, and the no-go years, your world becomes quieter, smaller. Now ask yourself one honest question. Is $1 at 63 really the same as $1 at 83? Mathematically, yes. Experientially, not even close. I once knew a man I'll call Robert. He spent 40 years doing everything right. Saved aggressively. Delayed every gratification. Built a retirement nest egg most people would envy. He finally retired at 71 with more money than he ever imagined having. He had a list. Italy, New Zealand, a fishing trip in Alaska with his son, a summer just driving with no destination. Within 2 years, his knees made the flights painful. His energy made the long days impossible. His doctor made the itinerary shorter with every visit. The money was still there, every dollar of it. But the life he'd been saving it for had quietly moved on without him. That is not a financial failure. That is a timing mismatch. And it's the one kind of loss that no spreadsheet can fix. Sometimes the smartest financial decision you can make is to align your money with your life, not just your longevity. Now, before we close, I want to say something important. For many people, delaying Social Security is absolutely still the right call. Research from the National Bureau of Economic Research suggests the vast majority of Americans would benefit from waiting. These 7 reasons are exceptions, not the rule. They apply to specific situations. And if you're not sure whether any of them apply to yours, that conversation is worth having with a qualified retirement planner. One more thing. If you're still working at 62 and earning more than $24,480 a year in 2026, there's an earnings test that can temporarily reduce your benefits. That changes the early filing math significantly. Factor that in before you make any decision. Let me bring this together. 7 really solid reasons to consider filing at 62. 1. Your health or family history suggests a shorter timeline. 2. You can unlock spousal benefits right now. 3. Your portfolio needs protection from sequence of returns risk. 4. The trust fund math favors collecting sooner. 5. The hidden tax strategy in your golden window before RMDs. 6. The spousal coordination strategy that maximizes both income and survivor protection. 7. Your go-go years are now, not later. Here's the truth underneath all of it. Social Security is not a number on a government form. It is not a line in a spreadsheet. It is 40 years of your work, your sacrifice, your contribution to something larger than yourself. And the decision of when to claim it is one of the most personal financial decisions you will ever make. Don't let anyone reduce it to a single break-even calculation. Your life is bigger than that formula. Now, everything I showed you in Reason 5, the tax strategy and the Roth conversion window, that changes completely depending on how much money you have sitting in a traditional IRA. If you have $500,000 or more in tax-deferred accounts, there's a specific video you need to watch next. I break down exactly how that golden window works and why most retirees leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table by never opening it. That's the next video. I'll see you there.